Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Here we are, Office Blokes together.
Yes,
Two of us today.
Indeed. Yep.
Ancient rules we still follow for no reason.
I wonder.
Don't know.
Ancient rules.
Well, there's one there I can see at the bottom that says birthday candles. So
Yeah. Cans of birthday cake, yeah.
It's kind of gone down now. People used to put the amount for kids. You still do it, don't they? How old they are, you put the candles on the cake.
Yeah, it gets to my age. I mean, you just you won't be able to see the cake, mate. Honestly.
Well, you'd have to get the fire brigade and all that, wouldn't you? So, like,
sprinkler systems and all sorts in situ.
Risk assessments, all 9 yards.
Imagine right up my street, that wouldn't it?
Let's get into it.
Let's get right into it. Number 10, birthday candles. It all started with the ancient Greeks trying to get the moon's attention. They would make round cakes to honor Artemis, their moon goddess. Then they'd stick candles on top, hoping the flames would catch her eye, basically trying to get a celebrity to notice you by waving your phone's flashlight at a concert. Then the Germans came along and made it weird. They thought your birthday was basically a VIP party for evil spirits. Your special day was a supernatural Black Friday sale, and demons were lining up for deals. So they started putting candles on cakes as a supernatural security system. The smoke was supposed to float up.
Not gonna lie, I've never thought about this.
I've not. I just thought, dude, literally, because it's someone's birthday, somebody just thought one day, oh, put candles on there, it looked good, blow the candles out, make a wish, and that's what it was for.
There's going to be a lot of these. There's going to be a lot of these, I bet, that we're all going to be thinking, if you knew about birthday candles there and knew the meaning behind it, I'd like to know, because I've
never occurred to me.
It didn't occur to me. I've never even thought about it.
No, I've not actually. No,
and blind the evil spirits. Imagine being such a bad spirit that you get defeated by birthday cake smoke. They even added an extra candle called the Light of Life. You had to blow out all the candles in one breath or your wish wouldn't come true. Miss just one, and your wish goes straight to the spam folder of the universe. Scientists actually studied this tradition. Turns out blowing out candles increases the bacteria on cake by 1,400%.
Wow.
But hey, at least we're safe from those evil spirits. Number 9, knocking on wood for good luck. Our ancestors thought trees were supernatural apartment buildings. These weren't your average roommates, though. These spirits could make or break your luck. The ancient Celts and Germans believed good spirits lived in trees. When they wanted to thank these spirits for good luck, they'd give their tree home a little knock, basically leaving a 5-star review for your supernatural landlord. But there was another reason. Evil spirits were floating around like jealous ex-roommates, waiting to hear someone brag about their good fortune. The moment you said something like, "I never get sick," they'd show up faster than relatives at a lottery win. So knocking on wood was basically hitting the mute button on your good news. Different cultures created their own versions of this supernatural game of Simon Says. In Turkey, people pull their earlobes before knocking twice. Italians don't even bother with wood. They touch iron instead. In Brazil, you have to knock exactly 3 times or it doesn't count. Christians later claimed it was about touching the wood of Jesus' cross.
So some weird methods and sort of behind it all, right? Because a lot of people over here, they'll say something, they'll say touch wood.
Yeah, say touch wood more than
they'll knock on a wall that's not wood.
Yeah.
Or they'll look for something and they'll go, and they'll touch like a table that's made out of veneer. Or whatever it may be.
It just looks like wood, but it's not wood.
I always just look at people who do it as if to say, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's not something I do. It might be a phrase that I use, say touch wood, but I don't touch wood.
It's one of these things.
Touch cloth.
You just sort of like, I know it is really, isn't it, a lot of the time. Well, not these things, or probably all of them are going to be ones that you've just been brought up with. Like your parents have passed it down to you, then you sort of say it, then your kids probably pick up on it. But I'm not sure whether they do as much these days.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm just interested to see if
I can't remember
touch wood.
I can't remember hearing my kids say touch wood.
No,
ever.
Me neither.
Things like that.
Maybe there's a different meaning now with kids.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, you have to watch certain channels online then.
But they were probably just trying to make their pagan habits sound more church-friendly. So, yeah. Here we are, with our smartphones and space stations, still tapping trees for luck. Number 8, the Cordy Keyboard. Back in the 1860s, newspaper editor Christopher Sholes wanted to make a machine that could type letters faster than writing by hand. His first design had keys arranged in alphabetical order, like a piano for words. These early typewriters were basically mechanical spiders. When you hit a key, a metal arm would swing up and stamp the letter onto the paper. But if you typed too fast, these arms would get tangled up. Think of 8 kids trying to get through one doorway at the same time. Telegraph operators were some of the first people to use these machines. They needed to quickly decode Morse code messages without making mistakes. The alphabetical layout was causing them to mess up more often. So Sholes started rearranging letters to make things easier for telegraph operators. Then Remington, a gun company, decided to get into the typewriter business. They were selling a different kind of shooting machine, a gun that shot letters instead of bullets. When better layouts were invented, like the Dvorak keyboard in the 1930s, it was already too late. Changing it would be like trying to convince everyone to start driving on the other side of the road. Number 7. Bread on the left, drinks on the right. Back in the day, European nobles were obsessed with table manners. They turned eating dinner into a game of, don't embarrass yourself in front of the king. One wrong move with your fork, and you might lose your head. Literally. They came up with this simple trick. Look at your hands. Make a B with your left hand. That's where your bread goes. Make a D with your right hand. That's where your drinks go. In crowded dining halls, this system kept drunk nobles from mixing up their stuff, because accidentally drinking from the king's cup was a quick way to get your head chopped off. It was basically assigned parking for your food. The funny part is, this rule only exists in Western dining. In other cultures, they just put the food where it fits, you know? Like normal people who don't need an advanced degree in plate geometry to have dinner. Number 6.
There's a restaurant I go in, right? And they're the same. They're very precise on where the cutlery goes, the order it goes in, where the side plates go, the main plates, and all that, right? I fuck about with them all the time. I know they do it, and I know it winds them up, but they've never said anything to me. As soon as they put the side plate out, I move it to the other side.
Yeah.
And when they put the glass down, I move it somewhere else. And when they put the cutlery down, I put it all on the same side. I just dick about with them because I know it bothers them. Because I can see the way they look at me. But now it's become a habit for me to do it. Because I just want it to be comfortable for me.
Yeah.
So I move all the cutlery into one side.
Yeah.
So I just pick it from the same side.
So they need to come out and then put things in the wrong place, and you'll just change it over and put it to the right place.
It's funny how some restaurants still do that. They still have the set places.
Oh yeah, there's a certain way they do it, where the knives and forks are. If it's 2 forks or two spoons and stuff like that, they have it in a certain order.
I've always been taught bread to the left, and then you eat from your cutleries outside in. So you start on your size as your outside cutlery. And
outside in,
and
that's
then
right.
Drinks to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always move the opposite ways, just to dictate.
Just
Only one restaurant I do it in, because they're very...
I'm surprised you're still going there. I'm surprised I'm barging.
No, it's one of my favourites.
Why surgeons wear blue or green scrubs. Back in the early days of surgery, doctors wore white because it looked clean and pure, but staring at blood on white clothes was like staring at the sun. Your eyes would get tired and start playing tricks on you. Not ideal when you're poking around someone's insides with sharp objects. When you stare at red for too long, then look away, you see a green spot. That's your eyes trying to balance things out. In 1914, one surgeon got tired of looking like he was performing surgery in a snowstorm. He switched to green scrubs, and suddenly his migraines disappeared. Red and green are opposite each other on the color wheel. When surgeons look up from all that red stuff inside you, their eyes can actually relax. Blue works the same way. Plus, these colors hide stains better than white, because nothing says, trust me with your life, like walking into surgery looking like you just lost a paintball fight. Number 5, the origin of the RX symbol. Every time you pick up medicine, you see this weird symbol that looks like someone tried to write R while having a stroke. This little squiggle has been around longer than most countries. Back in ancient Mesopotamia, doctors were scratching prescriptions onto clay tablets. These guys were basically the original tech support, but instead of turning it off and on again, they'd prescribe herbs and prayers. Some think it comes from the Latin word recipe, meaning take. Back then, doctors were basically writing cooking recipes, but instead of sugar and spice, it was ground up mummy parts and mercury. Others say it's connected to Jupiter, the king of Roman gods. Ancient doctors thought the planets could heal people. Some researchers think it's actually the eye of Horus from ancient Egypt. According to the story, Horus got his eye ripped out by his uncle in a family fight that makes your Thanksgiving dinner drama look tame. Then the eye got magically fixed, becoming a symbol of healing. The symbol stuck around through history, even when we stopped believing planets could cure diseases, even when we realized eating mummies wasn't the best medicine. Number 4.
I've always wondered that.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
You know, when you get like medicine, and it says, or even you see them on pharmacies as well, they have the letter, it's like an RX.
Is there?
Yeah, you'll notice it now. I've always wondered what it was. And I thought it was like a pharmacy logo.
Right.
And I thought maybe it stands for like one of the logos, one of the brands that make it.
Yeah, right, okay.
Sort of thing. But it's the same as like the barber thing. You know, you always see a barber, they have that multicolour.
Yeah,
like
the red and white.
I don't even know what that's for. I guess it's just a barber
I think
logo,
that was.
isn't it?
I think that was in the olden days where they used to have things like that on the outside of shops. It's just recognised because then the pawnbrokers would have like
scales
or something like that, and barbers was that, but I think it's just basically to get recognised.
I've always wondered
it's sort
what
of come
that
back a bit
was.
more now, but I've never even seen it.
I'm going to show you when we go back in the office. I've got some medication back there, but it's on there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Foot as a unit of measurement. Back in ancient times, people didn't have fancy measuring tools, so they used what they had, their own body parts. No batteries required. Just take off your sandals and start counting. Everyone's feet were different sizes, though. So if you bought land measured by someone with tiny feet, you might get less than you paid for. Imagine trying to build a house where every worker is using their own foot as a ruler. You'd end up with something that looks like it was designed by a drunk architect playing Minecraft. King Henry I of England decided to fix this by making his own foot the standard. His servants would walk around with wooden sticks cut exactly to the length of the royal foot. Number 3. The sexagesimal time system.
Interesting.
The Sumerians from 5,000 years ago created our time system using the number 60. Instead of counting by tens like normal people, they decided to be different. 60 is basically the Swiss Army knife of numbers. It can be divided evenly by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, and 60. Try doing that with 10, and you'll end up with a lot of messy fractions. The Sumerians had this clever way of counting using their hands. They used their thumb to count the segments on their 4 fingers. Each finger has 3 segments, so that's 12 per hand. Then they'd use their other hand to keep track of sets of 12. 5 sets of 12 equals 60. The Babylonians later took this system and used it for everything. They even divided circles into 360 degrees, because it's 6 times 60. These guys were doing advanced math while most people were still figuring out which end of the spear to hold. Now we're still counting time like ancient Mesopotamian merchants playing finger games. Changing it would be impossible, though. You'd have better luck teaching a cat to fetch. Number 2. Naming hurricanes. Back in the day, Caribbean people called these monster storms huracan, meaning evil wind spirit.
I always thought this was to add like a bit more drama to the weather forecast, because we started doing it over here.
Yeah, I just thought it was... I thought it was something that started over in the States, but I thought it was something that they gave them just to
Monitor
differentiate between one and another, so they named it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, especially in places like the States, in certain times of the year, you have quite a lot, don't they? So they need to keep track of which one's which and stuff like that.
Why, if that's the case, they don't name tornadoes, do they? Or anything like that.
That's true, yeah.
It's only hurricanes that they name. I guess we might get into this here, but one of the things I think they do over here now, we don't get hurricanes as such over here.
Yeah.
We get remnants of ones that hit the USA, and so
I think that's maybe because hurricanes do travel over continents, whereas tornadoes are probably more local, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's the hurricanes will come over here, but we only get remnants of them, so we get just like heavy rain, or we'll get a little bit of a storm.
Can get pretty windy, but I mean not as bad as when they first originated.
No. But we get like a storm. So what they started doing now, they started naming the storms over here.
That's right.
So
yeah.
It's I think it's just the drama over here. I think it's more to dramatise the weather.
I
give it
think
like more of an American feel.
It's definitely getting more dramatic over here. The weather, the way they do it on the TV and stuff like that.
The weather over here is just like it's just kind of very basic all the way through. There's never any drama in the weather.
Yeah.
You might get the odd flood, like every once a year or something, or the heat wave once a year. But there's nothing.
There's nothing that severe normally, is there? Really,
no,
the odd time, but not very often.
No.
So
where you go to places like the USA, you've got dramatic weather.
Yeah.
At any point, anywhere in the country, you've got, and it's same in Asia. Certain parts of Asia you go to, you've got dramatic weather.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah,
but in the UK, it's just bland.
Yeah, and name them. I think they go through the alphabet, don't they? I think they start A, then they go through, then go and start again. They do the list
at the start of the season and then run through them.
Yeah. So,
They thought these storms were angry gods throwing cosmic tantrums. Then the Christians came along and started naming hurricanes after saints. If a hurricane hit on St. Barbara's Day, that's what they called it. It was basically a weather forecast, and a church calendar rolled into one. By 1953, weather scientists decided they needed a better system. They started using only women's names for hurricanes. This went on until 1979, when someone finally realized that maybe being sexist about natural disasters wasn't the best look. So they started adding men's names too. The names go in alphabetical order from A to W. Apparently X, Y, and Z were too complicated for weather disasters. If a hurricane kills too many people or causes massive destruction, they retire its name. Katrina, Andrew, Sandy, they're all on nature's blacklist. Number 1, the standard railroad track width. Train tracks are exactly 4 feet, 8.5 inches wide because that's how wide horses were. When they started building railroads, they used the same tools that made wagon wheels. Those tools were set to make wheels that fit into the old road ruts left by Roman chariots. Those ruts were spaced to fit the back end of 2 horses. When George Stephenson built the first railways, he just went with what was already there. He added an extra half-inch for wiggle room, since trains are less agile than horses. Russia went wider, because they thought it would stop invaders' trains. Spain and Portugal went for a different width. Now they need special trains that can change their wheel width at the border. That's all for today.
Wow.
I knew that about Russia.
Oh, did you?
Well, we used to bring cargo from across from China on the railroad.
Yeah.
And when we got to like Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, all around there, we had to change carriages onto a different rail.
So that's still a thing these days, then? It's not like, wow, well, never knew that.
We had to change it into a different rail track because the rail was wider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can use the same carriages all the way through. Yeah.
Incredible. I never knew that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing. They're only there though.
Wow.
I thought it was just that region.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like Spain and all that are different. I thought it was all the same.
Yeah, same here, yeah. Wow. Educational, mate.
Some good stuff on there.
There were some good ones on it. Yeah.
Some weird ones, like you say, birthday cakes and birthday candles. I've never even thought about that.
Never even crossed my mind.
That's a new one for me.
Whatsoever.
And tap on wood. You know, it's or knock on wood, whatever they say. Touch wood.
Touch wood and
all
all
stuff
that.
like that. That's it's interesting to know how it originated.
Yeah.
I like to know how things like how stuff originates.
It's really interesting, yeah. Bit knew a little bit about the names of the tornadoes or hurricanes and stuff like the weather and that, but
that RX one, it's always bothered me. Not bothered me, but I've always thought, wonder what that's for. And I just assumed it was like a logo for a brand or an ingredient that was there or whatever, or it meant pharmacy or something along them lines.
Need to show me later and see what it's all about.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very good, yeah.
Always good. Chill dude, like that.
He's good.
I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.